Welcome, everyone, to episode 42 of the Golden Squeeze podcast. We have a lot to talk about, but we are going to start off with NXT from last week.
Super Pod,
which started off with Fatal Influence versus Metaphor. Fatal Influence got the win, and the long string of stupid new names that Triple H and Shawn Michaels are giving out to these teams needs to stop. Let's just go back to normal names, not Fatal Influence or Ring of Destiny. That's not a real one. What does Shayna Baszler call her stable? What are they calling that? Touch of Passion? I don't know. That's probably going to be a new name.
No, I'll think
it'll come to us. It'll come to us. But then after that, we got
Pure Fusion Collective. Pure Fusion
right.
Collective. Yeah.
All right. Intergalactic something. All right. But next up, we had Izzy Dame versus Carmen Petrovich, where Petrovich got the win. Another match that we're not going to touch too much on.
Yeah, just real quick. I thought they were getting to the point maybe they were starting to build Izzy Dame up a little bit, or maybe in that direction. She's an imposing figure on the female roster, and I guess they're more in favor of the sword slinging than this. But I don't know. She should be booked like a monster.
Yeah,
she's talented enough, I think, in the matches I've seen with her. Not that Carmen Petrovich is not good, but I just think when you have somebody like that with that size and the potential to build on that, you should do it. And anyways, that's all I have to say about that.
Now we can go to something I know that you do want to talk about, because it was the D'Angelo family versus the No Quarter Catch crew.
This was good.
Yeah, it was.
This was very good.
Stax, Crucifino, and Rizzo got the win against Dempsey Bourne and Sinclair by the pinfall. But this was good. I like Stax and Crucifino. They've got some nice tag team moves that they incorporate. And, tag team wrestling needs to make a comeback, because right now on Raw and SmackDown, I'm not really feeling the tag teams on the main roster. I feel like it's really Vince-esque in the handling of the tag team division on the main roster.
I think, and and we'll get to Tony D'Angelo more later on in this, but I think I would have no problem with Stax and Crucifino having a run with the NXT Tag Gold at some point. I mean, they're high energy, they, like you said, good tandem moves, and man, when they get that hot tag, though, they come in like 100 miles an hour. And I think they would blend well speed for speed with Frazier and Axiom, and that'd be a fun match. And say what you will about some NXT stuff, but they know how to put on a good opening or closing tag team match at a PLE, and that would be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, and then we got to talk about the mob associates coming to get the Don. Oh, dude, that was amazing. Just with the hats, with the little hats in the cage.
Those are great hats. Where's your hat? You got to bring your hat back.
I know. I need a new hat that one that actually fits.
Hanging up behind you on the new wall. Do the four of you see something different about this podcast? We have a new backdrop. For Senor Wade. It looks beautiful back there.
Thank you. My wife's office, very decorated. I suggested maybe getting some framed pictures of all Ego back there, like
Ego,
or myself doing the pose, maybe. But no, this was good. And then this led to, I don't know if it was right after, but the Don tried to tell the associates not right now. He was watching the match, and then they showed him something on the phone or said something to him, and then he proceeded to leave during the match. And then apparently Obafemi had infiltrated the restaurant and was at the Don's table.
Just sitting there like it's his.
Yeah, well, I don't know many people that would stop that man. Short of having a weapon. So.
Tony D'Angelo. They're about the same size. He
Oh,
could stop him.
I'm talking about the mob affiliates at the restaurant. Stop preventing
Oh,
him from getting in there.
yeah,
That was a nice suit Oba had. I gotta
it
say, that
was.
was good. Look, he's been going to Nick Aldis and Ilya Dragunov's tailor. That was.
Still don't think he's a heel though, but yeah, I hear you.
How would you classify it? Because I thought the same thing.
Yeah, he's a tweener.
Yeah. I mean,
He's borderline full-on babyface, if you ask me. But
you could
the
say the
way
same.
the way he comes to the ring,
yeah,
he comes to the ring in a very babyface way, with his music going and a boom, boom, oh, and he's bouncing. You know, you're not supposed to bounce when you're a babyface. You come down menacing. He's coming down and he is playing to the crowd and feeding off of a crowd.
You mean when you're a heel, you're not supposed to?
Yeah, not supposed to do that.
I mean, and granted, obviously, I'm not comparing in-ring stuff because two completely different styles, but you could say the same about Shawn Michaels with his strut into the ring, heel or baby face. I mean,
no, because he was to me that felt arrogant. To me, that felt like the way he would spin, like, "Oh, I'm the best in the world." I mean, I guess I'm just
okay. So more blatantly arrogant because Obafemi's definitely confident and cocky. I mean, because he knows he's good, and I mean he lets you know that in his effective, just straight to the point promos, and. But
I still don't feel heel. The crowd doesn't. They're not receptive to him being a heel. They treat him as a babyface. His in-ring style is very, very. I mean, it's babyface to me. I just don't. I don't think he's doing a very good job of portraying himself as a heel. But I do think he's doing a very good job of portraying himself. But
yes,
I feel like the company is trying to make him a heel when I just don't think that's what he is. And maybe they're not even trying to make him a heel. But there's some times where it feels like it feels like they are.
And it's tough because, just with some of his matches, it's like hard to tell because like in the triple threat with Dijak and Josh Briggs, obviously the crowd has never really fully been behind Briggs, but they were fully behind Dijak. And so it's like,
that crowd doesn't know what they want to do. They want to cheer everything. That's the problem. The NXT crowd wants to cheer everybody.
Oh, well, I think
unless you're Tommaso Ciampa.
I think they definitely, now I know I'm not even getting started back on that match. No, that was months ago. We're going forward, but I love the interaction with the Don and Obafemi in the restaurant. It felt it. I love that silliness when it comes to the family.
Yeah,
but it got a little overly silly with the Dragunov stuff. But this felt more like I was watching like a mob movie.
Yeah.
A little less campy, I guess you would say. Just, hey, you're a badass, I'm a badass. And, this is what it is kind of a thing. And just to the point, and then he left, and that was that. So,
yeah.
It was effective without going to mafioso stuff, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. And now to something that no one should enjoy. It was Wesley doing a promo with Zach Wentz. Where
there's all sorts wrong with this. Why? What was the point of security if they weren't even standing in between them? They were just standing behind. Like that's going to prevent them from attacking each other.
I mean, yeah. I'm not talking about this. It wasn't good. I don't. Wesley on the mic makes me sick, and
I did like Wentz's rebuttal when he was like, "Oh, this and that," talk about how good he is. He was like, "Dude," he's like, "You were about to quit again before we came out." I did like that part.
I didn't criticize Wentz. I'm criticizing Wesley, and even though Wentz makes me cringe too, but not in the same way that Wesley does. But I don't know.
But I felt much differently when they actually got in the ring with each other, which we will discuss later. That was good. My God, that was good.
Maybe. We're not there yet, though.
In my opinion, it was good.
Yeah, maybe. Next is Kalani Jordan versus Rosemary. And the one thing I'll tell you about an NXT crowd is they are smart, because I don't know who Rosemary is, but they wrestled. And the one thing I could also tell you is that WWE does not like TNA winning, so Rosemary was never going to win that match.
So we thought.
Kalani Jordan got the win. Kalani Jordan got the win.
I enjoyed this. It was some timing issues at certain points, but I think, and who knows, it could have been just two opponents not familiar with each other. But whenever it's little things like that, I'm more inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to the more seasoned wrestler, because Kalani hadn't been doing this that long.
Do you know about Rosemary's story? Has she been doing it for a while?
Yes, unless I completely misunderstood what I looked at. She has been wrestling for a while.
Okay.
But I very well could be misremembering, because I agree with you. I've heard the name Rosemary, because when I know a TNA event's coming up, I'll look up the results and see like who was fighting who and stuff. So I know the name. But in my understanding, but now you got me. I'm going to look at this. Rosemary, because I know I looked at it, I was like, let me see, because I wasn't familiar aside from a name.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder whether or not like they give people a heads up, like cheer for this person. They're making their debut. She debuted in 2008.
Okay. So I wasn't crazy. Okay.
Yeah. She was a tag team champion with Sarah Del Rey, who works for the WWE.
Oh yeah, dude. She's 41. She's a year older than me.
Yeah. She's
yeah, okay. I was gonna say I knew I'd seen she had been around a while, but you had me second guessing that. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you see what I'm saying? In situations like that, when it comes to timing and stuff, I'd lean.
There's a lot of timing issues in the company as a whole.
Yeah, but dude, you notice it. I've noticed it in some of this what do they call it? The next in line crew of NXT. You know, I've noticed it, and as much as I love Sol Ruka, it's
every match.
It's hit or miss, because dude, some it'll look flawless, and then others it's just multiple timing issues.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways, you know, this match was fine. I think it's very beneficial to have Kalani Jordan in there with veterans like that. I think that's great. And so yeah, that was good. Same with how they did Jordan Grace with Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
But I know Perez has had matches against other veterans too, but I mean, that was like you said, you know, they gotta learn at some point and just throw them to the fire. And obviously they're high on Kalani Jordan because they made her the inaugural NXT North American Women's Champion. So
yeah.
Anyways, but
yeah. Next up, we had Brooks Jensen versus Malik Blade. Jensen got the win. We're not going to touch on this because we're going to go over to Joe Coffey versus Javon Evans. When Javon Evans came out, it made me realize NXT has a little bit of an issue with having too many wrestlers, because there's some people who just will like show up in an episode and you won't see them for like 4 and then they'll come back. I feel like I hadn't seen Javon Evans in a while.
Which was very strange because
they had pushed him so heavily for
I wonder if something happened.
Yeah. Might have gotten hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with in-ring ability that I've seen. He's good. He's a quick study for sure. And
he's good.
So yeah, I've definitely noticed that he hadn't been around, but hey, sometimes less is more. I've got no issue with that because I think he's in line for big things.
Yeah.
And getting bouncy.
I mean, he was getting bouncy out there.
Oh yes, and Vic Joseph said it, and then the crowd did too. I was like, oh my god, no.
They're all getting bouncy. They're all getting bouncy. But unfortunately, Javon didn't get bouncy enough
No.
because Joe Coffey apparently had drank a couple of cups of coffee because he was looking good out there and looking like he was ready to go.
Good.
Had all the energy. He is good. He's good. And remember, like Gallus came back, and I remember how I complained they were in 11 out of the 6 segments on NXT that week, and then like we never saw them again.
Yeah.
And now they're not important. They've gone back into obscurity. It's just weird. Like one day Oro Mensah is fighting Ethan Page, and the next minute you don't see him for like at all. Like it's just weird. They have two. They have two. That NIL program is just so big that you can't possibly find screen time for them when there's only about. There's a lot of commercials in NXT. Like, so what are we talking? 80 minutes, and you've got a roster of like 100 wrestlers.
Yeah, that's. And I think, and now I don't know. I know they have that NXT level up. Now I don't know how long that programming runs or how long of a separate unaired show that is or wherever it airs. So I don't know if that's where some of these folks are getting their airtime or what. But yeah, very odd though that. And they keep referencing, Evans, like not what they say, like I guess he could have finished him off but went for another move. They keep making reference to that, just kind of like chalking it up to inexperience. So, I guess that'll be an issue going forward, and they'll play that into the story of him, figuring that out. But yeah, I agree with you. It was weird how they were showcasing him so heavily and then just not so much. But
I don't like them showcasing Odyssey Jones, and the next day he's just not with the company anymore.
Well, we found out what that was about. But
did we? I didn't see.
Oh, it was a domestic violence arrest was the initial report, or rumored, and then next thing you know, he was fired. So.
Gotcha. I did not see the domestic abuse allegation, but the WWE don't play. But next up, we had Trick Williams and Ethan Page and Joe Hendry having a concert, but Trick Williams was named the special guest referee, and Joe Hendry had vowed to Trick Williams that if he were to win, that Trick would be the first person to get a match. So we'll see what happens at No Mercy with that. But Trick Williams being named the special guest referee seems a little forced. I mean, I get it.
It continues the story, and I think he's still so popular in NXT that they didn't want to keep him off the PLE, in my opinion.
I'm quite Pete Dunne.
So they had to. Dude, and I thought about that too. Like, why? I guess they just ran out of time because I think every match was a championship match on the PLE. So I think, they're limiting it to the 5 or whatever it was, or however many it was, and then just giving them ample amount of time. But when Ethan Page, when the crowd was booing him and saying like, put your shirt on or whatever they were saying to him when Joe Hendry was doing his song. And he said, what did he say? It's like, I'm the champion of this company. And he was throwing a tantrum. Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah. Put him on the main roster. He's ready.
Oh, it's coming. And I cannot wait for him and Cody Rhodes to feud. That is one Cody Rhodes feud I will be looking forward to, because I think just that type of babyface versus that type of heel are made for each other, and that is one Cody feud I will definitely be looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up this episode.
Okay.
No, that was it. that was the main event, the three of them. But that wraps up this episode, the go home episode of No Mercy. It does not wrap up this episode of the Golden Squeeze podcast because we are moving on to Friday Night SmackDown, the go home episode of SmackDown, which led off with LA Knight having a open challenge being answered by Ludwig Kaiser, the German sensation. They're all German. Everyone is German in this company.
I think he may actually be, though, isn't he?
Is he?
I think
I don't know.
And now they finally at least clarified that Berlin is Gunther's adopted home. At least they're not just straight up calling him German anymore.
Yeah, because one day they found out, wait, you're not German? Oh, crap. And it's on the internet, so we have to address this. Yes, Ludwig Kaiser is German, but I guess it might be their adopted home because I am aware of the fact that Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther are very close friends in real life and have known each other since they were much, much younger. So, yeah, maybe.
The fans erupted for him.
Yeah.
This match was good.
Was good. Kaiser's good.
And a split crowd. Very rare these days you hear any boos for LA Knight, but they certainly had them at the end.
Yeah. Hometown boy.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't never come to Germany and then the one German superstar that they have loses.
But it was just so weird, though, because they were going nuts for LA Knight. And then, so when that happened and then he actually got some boos, I was genuinely surprised.
Yeah, because they were starting to realize that Kaiser was not going to become champion.
Yeah.
But
and when he said he was going to change it to the European title if he won it, that was awesome.
Yeah. The European title, a staple of the Attitude Era. They probably don't need to bring the belt back, but maybe. That or the Cruiserweight Championship.
I mean, but seriously, if they're going to continue having these major PLEs over there and potentially a WrestleMania, I've got no issue with that.
What happened to NXT UK? Where did that go?
I don't know, but hey, that title produced one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Well, can't say I ever watched it, but I had aspirations of watching it.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I think the only match to that point I had seen involving that title was when it was Gunther versus Pete Dunne at Takeover.
Yeah,
that we saw. I saw some of the artists formerly known as, or the artist now known as Alba Fire. Some of her stuff after we met her that style.
Yeah,
but
Kaylee Ray.
Yes,
at that time I think
it was escaping me.
Yeah. But after that match, we got Corbin and Cruz versus Berto and Angel. And
this was good.
This is actually a good match. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but I do want to say that I'm a big Baron Corbin guy. And I think that whatever gimmick they've given Baron, he's given it his all. And I wish that there could be more of a place for him than stuff like this. And I'm not saying, because this is a good match, but that's not what I mean by that. I mean, it's Angel and Berto versus Corbin and Cruz.
I know what you're saying. And
I want to see him on a PLE. There's no world where I think he's going to get on one. And
I think the only way it potentially could happen again at some point is if you turned him full out heel and just turned him straight up back to the lone wolf character.
Yeah.
Because I could see some sort of confrontation with Cody or whoever, LA Knight, whoever a babyface champion is, and getting a deserved, PLE because of some of the garbage they've thrown at him, and he has run with it and made it, okay. And I'm not a fan of this current thing and this outfit and the background graphics and all that right now. But again, as I said before, I don't know how much say they have now when it comes to that on the main roster.
Yeah.
So it could be his, and if that's his, hey, you deserve to have some say in it. But I think his only path to at least one more big championship match on a PLE is turning back to the Lone Wolf character.
Yeah. I don't know. Happy Corbin. Love to see Happy Corbin again.
It's sad, Corbin, when he lost it all.
No, when he won it all. That's what I like to remember. But that's enough of that. Because next up we had Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. And
God, dude, these guys
in round 4.
These guys
round
can't.
4.
Just like Melo, these two together.
Oh man, he is him. Here, I was having a thought when I was watching this match, and they keep bringing up what the record is with these two, and this makes me think of Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah,
and when the bar formed for the 4 of you, I don't know if you remember, it started with them having a best of 7, and then they got a mutual respect for each other, and they formed the bar based off of that. I personally think that in a month, we're going to have a tag team with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. And it's going to come from the mutual respect the two of them are going to have when it's all said and done after they have a best of 7. Because they're at 4, and they've highlighted it too much for this not to be a best of 7. And I don't think they've directly said that. But I think it's going to be 3-3 at some point, and then we're getting to Game 7. And I think that Game 7 is going to end in some sort of double count out. And then I think that they're going to become a tag team. That's my prediction. I'm going on record as saying that they will be a tag team here shortly.
I could see it. The only reason I'm not fully on board with that is just
because one's black and one's Mexican. I get it. It's not black, so it would go against their formula. And they've already got Cruz and Corbin. They can't have another. So that tag team's going to have to disband, so they can only have one, and this will be the one.
No, the fact that Melo is just so delusional at times, like even when he's lost, talking about how great he is and stuff like that, just him at this point showing that respect with this version of that character doesn't quite fit to me. But yes, that has crossed my mind too, because the last time they did this, it formed a good tag team. So
yeah,
but we'll see. I'm not ready to say that's going to happen yet, but like you said, they're going to have a couple of more matches at least. But I would also not be surprised if that's exactly what they do. So
yeah. Well, I haven't made a bold prediction recently, so that's going to be mine. That's my bold prediction. And I'm going to have another bold prediction that we're going to have a good main event. And let's see if I'm correct, because it was Nia Jax versus Mia Yim in a street fight was this for the title?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. All right. For the title. And I still can't believe that Meltzer and whoever he was with were just bashing Nia Jax, because I am of the mindset that Nia Jax is, and I'm talking about like 2 months ago, they were bashing her upon her return because they think that she's garbage. And I don't. I like Nia Jax. She entertains me.
I'm still at a loss for how, from stuff you read, it seems like some wrestlers like legitimately take stock in this guy's ratings. It's like, ooh.
Well, they're egomaniacs. Like Seth Rollins. I know Seth Rollins is one of them who, not that he takes stock in it, but he notices it and thinks, oh, like he gets mad about it. And I think that they want to be appreciated. But he's why
does that guy who is clearly biased? Why I just don't get why that.
Who's more biased, him or Bleacher Report? Because Bleacher Report, since I guess they're owned by AEW, or AEW works, or Bleacher Report works for AEW, they can just be so biased, and it shows in some of their ratings that they just give for clearly good matches. And
listen, and of course we're sitting here doing this for the 4 of y'all, and it's our opinion, and that alone, we don't expect any of you 4 to take stock in that. But hey, and he's entitled to his own opinion. That's fine. Sometimes we share the same, sometimes we don't, and that's fine. But my point is, I'm not sitting here trying to bash it. I'm just saying I don't understand why people get so hung up on one individual's opinion.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
I don't. But
Yeah. Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But again, this is a tangent. And
yes,
it was Nia Jax versus Mia Yim.
this
and
was good. I liked it.
I like both of these superstars. I really like Nia Jax. I really like this version of Mia Yim. They went at each other, and it was a good old street fight. And they got the main event. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for Mia Yim getting the main event of a SmackDown. Proud of her.
Yeah.
She's worked hard this year.
Yeah.
So it was good. But the highlight of this was hearing it's Tiffy time. And she came down
with that smile. She was so excited to cash in that crown. That the look on her face.
She was never going to cash in the briefcase.
I know, but just the look on her face, like she thought she had her duped.
That's the look of helping a friend. That's the look of about to help a friend, which she did. She saved her from losing her title by hitting Mia Yim once with the briefcase and being surprised when that didn't kill her. But it was it's going to be good to see the downfall. But Nia Jax's face when she opened her eyes and Tiffany Stratton was there above her with the briefcase was how could you, Tiffany? When, to be honest, in that moment she was actually only trying to help Nia, it seemed, but obviously it didn't look that way. But it's
she was. They had to make it seem like she was thinking about it.
She was never going to do it, though. She was never going to do it on. Well, first of all, if anyone thinks that she's going to do it on a SmackDown, is like, look, what are we really doing, WWE? You're not fooling anybody.
Well, okay. Well, when they make the network switch, that's usually a big deal. Shows like
they're not switching that network. Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
But they're not switching it to a real network. If Raw did it and it went to Netflix, then I could buy it. But not going to the CW. Come on.
No, they're going to USA.
Even worse. Who's going to CW?
NXT.
That's just funny to me. I don't even see that. I don't even know how to find that.
And I hope, seriously hope YouTube TV has the CW. I think they do because I really enjoy watching NXT, and I don't want to have to wait till the next day.
Yeah.
But that Annihilate. Oh wait, hold on, we're missing something. So Bayley came back
in this match.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're not done talking about that. And off screen, off pod, I'll talk something. Oh, I want to say something about Bayley coming back. Not doing it on pod. But Bayley came and interfered in this match when Tiffy came out.
Yeah, because she did it right when she was about to do the prettiest moonsault, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she came back, attacked Tiffany Stratton, and then Nia Jax put a trash can on Mia Yim's head.
This is awesome.
And then did an annihilator on a trash can, and then proceeded to, or did she come out after Nia was throwing all the stuff at Mia Yim? Regardless, she came out.
No. She chased away. I think she chased away Tiffy. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well, regardless of the fact, she started throwing a bunch of weapons at her after she had already done an annihilator through a chair. Through a trash can, which was a good spot. Spot. Hopefully, Mia Yim's still alive because there's a lot that could go wrong there, especially when you can't see the person's face. So, but kudos to all involved. Good match. Welcome back, Bayley. How long were you gone for?
I think they said since SummerSlam. That was the first time back on TV, I think.
Okay, so 3 weeks. All right, 4 weeks. Well, welcome back. Wrestling's better with you. The real question is, when are the rest of your counterparts going to come back? When is Becky Lynch coming back? When is Charlotte Flair coming back? Where is everybody? These are heavy hitters in the women's division that are just absent right now. But let's move on to what the four of you want to talk about, we got a banger overseas in Bash in Berlin, which led off with. So I take issue with the match placement, and I understand the match placement, but
Why?
I have a problem with that title leading off the pay-per-view, and I know I shouldn't. I just have a problem with it. I think that
it had to be either first or last.
I know, but that title's supposed to be the main title, or maybe it's not supposed to be the main title.
Well,
But
I mean, we all knew that Gunther was going to headline this.
yeah, I know that. I know that. I obviously I know that, but I feel like Roman spent so much time bringing prestige to that title, and I feel like they're doing everything they can to take that away with Roman being absent. I honestly think that they're right now their concentration is on building Gunther, which is fine, and I'm fine with that. Obviously, I love Gunther. I love him. I love him as a wrestler. One of my top 5 current favorite wrestlers. They're using Gunther to build the prestige of the heavyweight championship, similar to what they did with the Intercontinental title. But I just don't feel like the Universal title is getting the respect that it deserves. And what I'm about to say is not a slight to Kevin Owens. It just isn't. It's not a slight to Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is also one of my top 5 favorite current wrestlers. Putting it first and then having him fight Kevin Owens, it just doesn't seem big enough for that title. It doesn't seem big enough. And also the way that match came about.
Yeah, no, and that's what I was going to say. Just the build or lack thereof.
Yeah, they essentially said, "Oh, Kevin, you're here, so I'm going to give you a title shot." That's really what it was.
And they essentially said, "Hey, the main event is going to be Gunther versus Randy, so we need the belt defended. We need it against somebody that's going to produce a great match. We're not running the bloodline thing back until Bad Blood, which then that will main event, obviously. That title, Cody's title will main event there in Atlanta. I mean, I
hope so.
No, I think that's a done deal.
I hope so.
But it's like, hey, we're going to throw this together because we know these two guys are going to be reliable and put on a good match. That's all that was. But
is that the reason why it's going to main event? Because of Cody and the title, or is it going to main event because Roman Reigns is going to play a role?
No, it's going to. Well, first of all, it wouldn't matter who he's fighting. He's main eventing in Georgia.
I'd hope so.
And my other issue with this, just like with the AJ Styles matches, there was never, and I guess you could say this about a lot of them too, there was never any sliver of hope for Kevin Owens fans that Kevin Owens was going to win this title.
No.
We all knew that. The only time I think that there's ever going to be any wonder of is he going to keep the title or not when it comes to Cody is going to be against a member of the bloodline. And that's just the way it is too. It was a good match, but it's just kind of like when you already know what's going to happen, it just kind of, to a degree for the most part, kind of dampens it a little bit. But then when you have the finishers getting kicked out of that were kicked out of, I don't know.
Yeah, they had done, in my opinion, a pretty good job over the past month or so of trying to legitimize the finishing move, period, across the company. I feel like a lot less finishers have been kicked out of since WrestleMania. It's almost like at WrestleMania they said, okay, we're going to have everyone kick out of 7 finishers, and then we're going to take a break for a little bit from that. But it reared its ugly head with Cody. Was there a top rope crossroads, or did I make that up?
I think you dreamt that because I don't know if that's possible.
I did dream that. I think that they did a move, and I said, man, that would be cool if they did a top roads crossroads. Like every wrestler has like a super finisher, like Cody doing his 3 his 3 crossroads of Roman running the ropes like 5 times and then hitting the spear.
Yeah.
But I didn't imagine this, though. Cody hit 2 crossroads, and then Kevin Owens no-sold it and then hit a stunner.
Yes.
Didn't make that up.
Yes.
That's absurd.
No, I agree.
I'm not going to say it made this match bad, because it did not by any means, but it took it from an A+ to an A- to me. But still, very good match. Very good match.
Yeah. No. I enjoy it. Hey, and the surefire heel turn did not happen, but it's coming at some point, because they do the good. They do good about when the announce team brings up stuff. Usually it comes back into play later. And Wade Barrett saying that Kevin Owens doesn't have that killer instinct anymore. That's going to come back into play later, because he ended up slightly taking advantage of the Cody knee injury during the match, but not to the degree that the old Kevin Owens would have.
Yeah.
So that's going to come into play at some point for sure down the line. So anyways, good match, but me and you both will agree we don't like the devaluing of finishers, but it's and I just have a hard time accepting it, even though it is what it is at this point. It's going to happen. So,
yeah.
But still, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the match.
And from a prediction recap perspective, we both picked this match correctly. Cody Rhodes retains his title. But in the next match, we differed. You took Unholy Union, and I took Jade and Bianca. Who won? I'll tell you who won. Me. The people won. The 4 of us won. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. They got their titles back.
They did indeed.
After the uninspiring run that Fire and Dawn had with it. And I only say that because they won it with just kind of out of nowhere, in my opinion. They won it out of nowhere as well. It was a match where we said there's no chance that they're going to lose, and they did. But they got their titles back, and I feel like Jade Cargill is starting to feel a little more comfortable in the ring, which
I agree. I felt that watching this match as well.
It almost makes me wonder, are they going to keep them a tag team until she just feels like she could do it? She can carry a singles run. Because I still don't think she can carry a singles run, but I think that she's closer than she was 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, you got to think that's the end. The end game is Jade versus Bianca at WrestleMania. So now the guessing game of when, for me anyways, is when they're going to go all in on the split. I'll be interested to see when.
Before or after Royal Rumble?
During.
Okay. Is it during the Royal Rumble match, or is it during a tag team match?
It depends. I think it depends on if the titles are defended.
No. That's for you to tell me. Okay. So I ask again.
Okay, if the titles are defended,
No,
I'm saying if.
Do you think the titles are going to be defended?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, because is this the year? Are they? I know they're going to 2 nights at SummerSlam. Are they doing it for the Rumble this year?
I don't know if it's this year or 2026. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, assuming if the titles are defended, it's happening during the title match.
Okay. And then if not, it's happening during the Rumble.
Yes. That's my belief. Yes.
We shall see.
To the point where I could see, which would be a good setup for it, if you have them enter at 1 and 2.
Ooh. Okay.
I think that'd be because then, something would have to give, essentially, to a degree. So, because they're not going to book it for them just to stand there and look at each other for 2 minutes.
Yeah. I like that. Or what I like is similar to what happened with this fake argument they're having with Axiom and Frazier, how they're spending too much time winning the speed title, or whatever. You need to concentrate on this. Have Bianca go out and win the women's title at some point. With them, they're going to lose their tag team title. Bianca goes solo. wins the title and then maybe have Jade win the Rumble, then challenge and then challenge Bianca. Nah.
I mean,
Nah, I don't like that. I like yours better.
okay.
I like yours
I
better.
mean, that would work though, but there's too many returning people that I think are going to get those title spots, at least, that don't have a tailor-made feud waiting for them.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't have? Well, Becky's the only one who doesn't have a tailor-made feud.
Becky.
I think Charlotte's got one.
Yes.
Charlotte and Tiffy when the time comes, for those of you who are not.
When the time
picking
comes,
up what I'm putting down.
Tiffy time.
When the Tiffy time comes.
Tiffy time. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be for the title.
Yeah.
Not yet.
We'll see. But next up, we got a Caribbean, or just a regular strap match. This is not Caribbean. It was CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. You had picked Drew McIntyre. I had taken CM Punk. And not only did I take CM Punk, I also made it very clear that he gets his bracelet back, which is exactly what happened. 3 for 3 on this side of the pond. 3 for 3. They were strapping each other. It's exactly what you would. They had that strap on, but they were going up against each other. And how long have there been lights on a strap match?
Dude, I don't know. I personally don't recall that, but who knows? I could be wrong, but
yeah, I don't know if it added to it or not. I don't think it detracted from it, so I'm not gonna pick that nit. I did enjoy this though. I did enjoy this match. I still think they can go another gear, and I think that the Hell in the Cell will take them there when the time comes. And I think that blow off match, and hopefully it is the blow off match,
because it has to be.
I don't need this anymore. But I want one more match, but I don't need 4. So
I agree.
Hopefully it's Hell in a Cell, because that could be very good given the two of their wrestling styles. So we'll see what Trips decides to do. But I enjoyed this.
No, it was good. I enjoyed it too. Got the bracelet back. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Punk looked good. There were some questions, after the SummerSlam match, which I thought the SummerSlam match was fine. I don't think that was necessarily a strong indicator of what he's still capable of in the ring, because a lot of it was theatrics.
Yeah.
In the SummerSlam match because of the stuff with Rollins. So, this was good. I enjoyed it as well. So.
Speaking of good, we got a mixed tag match with Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest versus Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. I'm going to say something, and I don't know if this is recency bias or not. I think that Ripley is the best women's wrestler of all time. I'm just going to throw that out there, just based off of the way that she presents her character, based off of everything that she does in ring, based off of her presence, her look, the way that she just feeds off the crowd and just works them. She's my favorite. I think that if she's not the best, I think that she's on a plane to be the best. I think that she's on that trajectory to be the best. When she put Dominic in that head scissors and the facial expressions that she made when she did that, that's next level. That's next level. It's just great. And they allow her to interact with the boys. And who else are they going to let do that? It's going to be Nia Jax, and that's it. No one's going to believe Becky Lynch or Bayley wrestling a dude. No one's going to believe that. But when Ripley when she headbutted Dom, that looked vicious. Like, her headbutt looks good.
Yes. Oh yeah, no, she's got a good Glasgow kiss.
Yeah, and so I think she's great, and I love this match. I love Dom. I love Ripley. Liv Morgan's growing on me. So's Damian Priest.
Oh yeah.
I liked everybody involved. I enjoyed this. I'm being hyperbolic, but maybe.
I like the way I agree with what you've said. With that said, and I despise when they try to shove somebody down your throat. With that said, I think the best, not necessarily my favorite, is still Charlotte.
Yeah, sure. I love Charlotte.
Right. But I mean, my favorite, just I love heel Alexa Bliss is still my favorite. And just
yes, but you're not naive to say that she's the best of all time.
No. But I'm kind of using that as an example. I may think Charlotte is the best, but
she's returning sometime too.
My favorite is heel Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Just great promo, and love the Twisted Bliss, and that's one of my things with Charlotte. I do not like the natural selection finisher. The figure 8 looks cool, but when she has a move that's a finisher that you see it time and time again, and it barely nets a 2 count, and like a snap, what is that? Like a snap mare neck breaker or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that as a finisher, and I nitpick little things like that, but God, she's good, dude. She is so good. But I love Rhea too, man. I love the finishing move. And she is believable, like you said, being in there with the guys and everything. And man. No, I've got no problem with you putting her up there. She's very, very good.
Yeah, and apparently she's a big Javon Evans fan. So,
oh, okay, did not know that.
Wait, you didn't see her getting bouncy at the pay-per-view?
No. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy, yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's late, y'all. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
And she knows what she's doing, too.
Dude,
she knows what she's doing.
You think Liv doesn't know either when she's getting pinned like that? They know exactly what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, and and I'm okay with it. But
when something I was going to say about Liv, because you know how sometimes, dude, when people get thrown into stuff, and it looks so fake. But when Liv gets thrown in the steps or the ring post, the way she does it, I don't know if it's the way she snaps her hair to make it mask her from that camera angle hitting it. But dude, it looks good.
Yeah,
the way
she's good.
I mean, just little things like that. I appreciate like watching it. So
she's much improved. Improved, Liv Morgan.
No, she's great, man.
Yeah, she is great. But I liked everything about this. I don't. No,
I'm not too.
I'm not going to say anything negative about it.
Nope.
I thought it was great. And then lastly, we got Randall Keith Orton versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Another match where there was a 0% chance of the title changing hands, and it didn't. But they put on a great match. And it's a reminder that Randy, if somebody says he's on their Mount Rushmore, I cannot argue, because he's been wrestling for 20 years plus, and he is still as good as he was when he was in his early 20s. So good on these two for putting on a banger of a match. My really only issue, and I have a big issue with it, is the way that Gunther is portrayed. Him shaking hands with Randy, I'm just not okay with that. I don't like that. I don't think that him embracing Randy Orton fits his persona. But that's just me. And what I also don't like is, was that the second time Kevin Owens eventually shook hands with Cody Rhodes? So we got that for both titles to end the show and to start the show. The heel and the well, I guess we had babyface, 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 heel, but they're all embracing. Don't like it. Don't like it twice in one show.
And again, I could see it. The way I kind of took that is, yeah, kind of a sign of respect thing, they did for Gunther. However, seeing it like, hey, man, we both talk the talk. I choked you out. You're going to shake my hand. Like I beat you fair and square. No shoulder off the mat. Like, hey, I'm standing here. You're going to acknowledge the fact that I just choked you out.
Maybe, but then you got to think of who was the recipient of that message. Randy Orton's not shaking someone's hand if that's what the case was.
No, because even in the promo work leading up to it, like even though it was getting personal, they still acknowledged each other's greatness.
That may be the case, but Randy Orton is a heel at heart. And
speaking of which, okay. I get what they're saying. Like, oh, Charles Robinson, he's been doing this a long time. But when Randy did the eye poke in the middle of the match,
oh, that was good. That was good.
And then Charles Robinson, just his facial expressions. I got a buddy that, like, if like mannerisms, I would think he's Charles Robinson's kid. Like in ring stuff, like because I've seen this guy I'm talking about. He does he does like all these expressions like, hey, it's little Charles Robinson. but just that, and then when he did it, he did kind of like one of these, oh, come on, like thing. But dude, the liberties he was letting them take, it's like, okay.
In fairness, Charles Robinson, who was he known for loving him? What's his nickname?
Little Nate.
Little Nate.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a Nate move.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Nate move. So maybe that was, I'm a Nate guy. I'm okay with that. So I'm not gonna do anything about that.
It was fantastic. I had an issue with it wasn't a false enough finish on the kick out of the RKO for me. I thought I want that to be one of those 1, 2 3/4 coming up. It was too soon after the 2 count that he kicked out.
It's funny because the issue with him kicking out of a finisher is the millisecond more than it's fine, but not.
Oh no! But this, I don't like that move being kicked out of. However, with what preceded it, you had Randy kick out of 2 Gunther finishers: the top rope splash, and the power bomb. So
that was the theme of today, or that pay-per-view.
Yeah. And so, but I like the sequence and how I love the old school going back to the sleeper or the rear naked choke or the guillotine when Roman used it. Just going back to it until it works. I love it, man. Love it. But it was good, man. I enjoyed this. I know some people may not be their cup of tea because of the slower pace, but I like old school wrestling matches like that, man.
I love it.
I do.
They gave 2 great wrestlers 35 minutes, and they said, go out there and have a match. Now, and that's what they did.
Now, with that, going back to what we said earlier about Dave Meltzer, I do like seeing how he rates matches. I would be curious because I have not gone to see how he rated this one.
1 star.
No.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, come on now.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
I'll have to check that somewhat. But no, I enjoyed this. This was a fantastic pay-per-view. And even the Cargill and Bianca, the women's tag team match that exceeded my expectations, and I think that's because Jade, like you said, Jade looked much more comfortable in there.
Yeah.
And oh, dude, when she gets fired up, man, it naturally, as a wrestling fan, gets you fired up. I mean, she has that part of it down pat, and so
she needs to get the wrestling down pat, which she's getting there. She's getting there.
Yeah, I think she's going to be fine. But
Yeah.
all right.
Well, before we get into that, the one thing I want to say is I don't know if you're counting at home, but I pitched a perfect game. I pitched a perfect game. I called every match. Let's see if I can take that momentum into the next pay-per-view. No Mercy, which started off with Chase U versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And Frazier and Axiom got the win, which I also predicted. You took Chase U. I took Frazier and Axiom. I was on a roll this past weekend.
Not only did you take Frazier and Axiom,
I said some nanigans, some shenanigans from Ridge Holland.
Yes, you did.
And
yes,
we got some nannies from Ridge Holland.
Yes, we did.
We had to get them eventually because we hadn't gotten them yet. Like they had to come eventually. Just the way he got into this.
I disagree.
No.
I disagree.
You know wrestling. You know wrestling.
I know wrestling, but here's why I disagree. This whole thing, and we have talked about this a lot. I don't know if I've said this on here yet. I was starting to warm up to Ridge Holland and what they were doing. And I was like, okay, they're going with this redemption arc. Hey, they're sticking with it. He's not randomly turning on them. And the crowd, for once, you could hear, was actually starting to cheer him legitimately. Yeah. And I was like, holy cow. They tried to force down our throats with the fake retirement and this and that, building the forced heat. None of that worked. They tried this. It wasn't working at first, but slowly but surely it did. And it's like, and in the sense of the storyline, it became organic and the fans cheering him. And I don't know, man. Yes, would common sense say, okay, at some point something's going to happen. I got to be honest with you, though. I thought it was going to be Duke Hudson and Riley turning on him at some point, even though they had kind of made amends. That's what I thought was going to end up happening. And so when this happened, it was fine, but the best part of it was the look on Thea Hale's face when it was going on.
Shocked. A look of shock.
Yeah, and just the genuinely look like she was crying and everything. But so I have not watched NXT yet. That's the only thing I have not caught up on yet. So I don't know if Ridge Holland gave an explanation. I have not looked at any of the results. So, but
neither have I. One thing I'll say about this is that this is what tag team wrestling's about, this match. Putting aside what happened at the end, I thought they put on a great match. And when I saw that Bleacher Report gave them a D-,
they changed it.
They changed it 3 times.
They changed it.
Not once, not twice, but twice. They went from D-.
Not once, but twice.
No, but thrice.
Okay.
Then they moved it to a C. And then they moved, I guess just twice. Well,
no, they changed it to the match grade and then the after match grade.
No, they gave it a match grade. Then they changed the match grade. They gave it a better. So they went from a D- and they gave it a C-, and then they split it up. But even that, they gave a B- to the action. I would have given it an A. The ingenuity of the moves that the two of them were doing, especially for the tandem moves or the tag team moves, I thought it was great.
Okay, there was something, and again, we're always going to talk about things being diminished. When that Spanish fly into the immediate other finisher was kicked out of by Andre Chase, that was a little much for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was. But I don't know.
I enjoy it. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it because I did. But that,
yeah.
But me and you are always going to do that when it comes to some of those move after move like that would possibly kill a person, and then we're back. But dude, I like because Andre Chase. You look at him when he comes out there with the baggy college sweater, and you're like, man, look at this guy. look at this guy athletic doing these athletic things out there. And it's good. You want to root for the guy. So it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and man, and the length of the title reign, it's like, should they have even taken the titles off of him to begin with? And would it have been more effective for them to have lost and then earned another shot at it, lose again, and then the Ridge Hall in turn?
Yeah.
But anyways, dude, like I said, I think he had built some organic cheers from the crowd. And I think they just threw that all away by trying to force him into being a heel again.
Yeah, 100%.
But we'll see what happens. Who knows? But because, like I said, he was starting to grow on me. And I like him in the ring. I like that power style. I like the big, strong guys doing big, strong things. And he's very athletic, too. But anyways, what was next?
Wesley versus Zachary Wentz.
I loved this.
That makes one of us. So I'm glad that you liked it. Maybe if any other two different people were doing it, I would have liked it too. But Wesley, he's my new Josh Briggs. He's not my cup of tea. I'm kidding. I think he's a great wrestler. I just don't like all the other stuff. So this was good. No, I have to give credit where credit is due. This was good. But something about the Rascals or MSK or whatever they are, and the hand symbols they do, and sticking their tongues out.
I get it.
I'm not a fan of that.
I get it.
It definitely is geared towards a younger crowd, all that stuff. And I'm an old curmudgeon. Yeah. I punch clouds. So, I mean, it's...
I gotta say, man, something with this. That kudos to Wesley. Now, do I think this was necessarily smart considering his injury history? No. When Wentz was positioned on that table, it was not supposed to break.
Yeah.
When it collapsed. But Wesley went ahead and did the double knee anyways on the ground.
Yeah.
And now, granted, he's a pro. I'm sure with all the high flying stuff, he knows how to absorb the impact and all that stuff. But still, and you could tell he was up there thinking about it. And then he said, you could tell he just came to the point, well, I'm going to do it. And so kudos to him for pushing through. And, I'm not always a fan of interference on the outside, but this in the context of the story worked with who was it that stopped the chair shot to the head? What's the other guy's name in the Rascals?
Gosh, I don't know.
Anyways, when he stopped it, but that, I think they called it the UFO cutter that Wentz hit for the win. That was the best looking cutter I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Now, granted, a lot of that is who your dance partner is too. Mm-hmm. But so with Lee and Wentz doing it, I mean, dude, that looked good. And I know a lot of like the Cody cutter isn't gonna net a 3 count, and a lot of these cutters aren't going to, but I have zero issues with that cutter being a finishing maneuver.
Yeah. Trey Miguel.
Yes. That interference I'm perfectly okay with in the context of that story and what was about to happen. So
yeah.
But that that finisher was good. I rewound that a couple of times. I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
And
it was good.
And they let the guy from TNA win on a PLE.
They did, but he used to be in the WWE, so it's doesn't count.
He's still TNA champion right now.
Yeah, that's true. But doesn't happen often, but couldn't have happened to a better guy than Wesley to lose to a TNA guy. So
this was good. God, I really, really enjoyed that match.
Did you enjoy Kalani Jordan versus Wendy Chu?
Even though the crowd was dead, I did enjoy this, but I don't mind that. Like we said earlier, I don't mind that kind of slow, plodding pacing kind of a thing. The wrestling was fine. Do I think their styles meshed that well? No, but I thought Kalani Jordan did well against somebody who has a different style of wrestling. I love the false. I love I love the old school hand thing.
So,
but now they don't do the 3 anymore.
That's what I was going to say. That's my issue. Doing 1, because I think that if she didn't raise her hand, they would have given the match to Wendy.
Correct.
I need 3. I need 3.
But
I don't know if it's.
They haven't done that in years, though. The 3.
There's no. Yeah, but they can. There's nothing stopping them from doing that.
Yeah.
Just do it.
But it was good, though. It was a good false one because it was like, oh, this may be then. But she, hey, she did good. I like the transition into the split leg moonsault at the end. But yeah, dude, the crowd was dead. And talking about placement of a match, putting them behind Wesley and Zach Wentz was probably not a good idea.
Where could you put them?
I don't know, but I don't know. With everything else on the card, I honestly don't know. But I think the placement definitely hurt, or who knows? It may not have mattered regardless. But dude, to me, it wasn't my favorite match. No, but the match was fine. I didn't have any issues with it. Most
important thing about it was I picked Kalani Jordan. Yep. I'm sorry. I picked Kalani Jordan, and going back to the last match, I picked Mr. Wentz. Doesn't matter what my motivations were for picking him. I still picked him. So
we both
3 for 3.
We both picked Kalani on this one, right?
We both picked Kalani. Winnie Chu is never winning. Let's not kid ourselves. The next match, which was Obafemi versus the Don, I picked this one too. The Don, unfortunately, was not able to overcome Obafemi. Obafemi got the win, but this was a good match.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good match.
And the Don overcame a rolled ankle early on that was legit to the point where they did not put the camera on him for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So, dude, when that happened, I was like, oh, boy. Oh, but, man, kudos to him because he still ran around after that, and that could have been bad. But,
yeah.
And I bet I don't, and again, I haven't watched, so I bet that hurt like hell the next morning.
Oh yeah.
And as anyone who's rolled an ankle, especially on the move like that, knows. And I gotta say something here. I know that a lot of people have the spear for a finishing move. That was one of the best spears I've seen in years. The one that he put on Obafemi, and to the point where I have no problem with the Don also utilizing that now. It looked good. Besides, I think the only spear I've seen that looks better recently is Braun Breakers. I mean, granted, I know that's the first time I've seen him use that move that I can remember, but especially putting one that good on a guy like that and makes it look like that, to me, looked like I was watching a football game.
Yeah, but then we have Roman,
I know,
Braun, and Don. Only so many people can have.
I know
the same finisher.
I know. I get it. I do, but I was not expecting that. It was good. If the Don,
don't forget, a lot of that's the dance partner. Selling the spear.
Yeah, but the Don's got that wrestling background, so he knows how to do the takedowns and all that stuff. So I think a lot of that helps too. But yes, of course, and Oba knew how to sell it too, but he may not have had to sell it that much. I mean, Oba's a big guy, but Don's a big dude too.
Yeah,
and
meat on meat, right there.
And okay, where did the crowbar come from? Was it Stacks that had it? Where did he get it? Okay,
where did he get it? Come on, I mean, where he got it from.
No, because they were like, "Is that a crowbar?" I was like, "Who?" I didn't know if it was Stacks or Crucifino or Rizzo, but when he laid waste to them out there, I was like, "Oh boy!" But if the Don was going to lose, and I know we talk about it with finishers, I'm glad they had him kick out of the initial power bomb.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
oh, dude, it was good. But again, man, I don't understand why you take the Heritage Cup off the Don just to have him lose. That didn't.
You think this story's over?
I don't know.
I don't think it's over.
I definitely think in terms of believability and stuff like that, this I could definitely I would have had no issue with D'Angelo. Okay, I take that back. The only issue I would have had with D'Angelo winning on Sunday was the reason for the match with the interrupting backstage, and then you had the only saving grace for the build was the tape vignette or whatever at the restaurant, because that was good. But beyond that, I think with a little more build, as long as they don't put Oba in a trunk or something,
Right.
But would it be believable for the Don to win? Absolutely. But
yeah,
because, dude, you got to think if they're not going to call Oba up until after WrestleMania, you got to think he's got to win the main title on NXT before it's said and done.
You'd think. It's like a rite of passage for a lot of those guys. So I think you would think.
I think it would be a smooth, quick transition, just like they did for Gunther. Have him drop the IC title, immediately go on King of the Ring, and then win. I think they need to give that treatment to Oba. To continue to do so. But great match. Of course I wanted the Don to win, but it was good, man. And hey, kudos to him for fighting through that twisted ankle. So,
and kudos for me for picking that one. Yeah. And then guess what we have next? Roxanne Perez.
This was good.
And guess who picked this one? Me.
You did.
Roxanne Perez gets the win against Jada Parker, and then we got an entrance from Julia. And she has a look to her, and I'll come back to the match in a second, but Julia, I don't think I've ever seen a person who's half Japanese, half Italian. I just don't think I've ever seen it before. That's what she is. Never seen that. Never seen that that blend. I like her look. I like her presence. Don't know who she is.
Oh, no. I was going to say the only thing I've seen from her is when they talked about how she was going to sign and just some of the clips on social media, but I've never seen a full match, but she's
excited.
She's
necessary for the for NXT because she looks different than all the other girls. Outside of like Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice, who I don't even know if she's with the company anymore, but outside of like those two, everybody else looks the same. And I've complained. Well, Jada Parker looks different, but I've complained about this that they only have like two different molds of person on their roster, and they just all look so similar. But it is what it is. I like her look, and I'm excited to see her and her debut match whenever that may be. It might even have been yesterday. I have no idea. But now the match itself, equally as good. It was a great match. Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker left it all out there on the mat. And sorry, Jada, you didn't get the win, but you are a star. So you'll be fine.
Dude, she's got that swag that you cannot teach.
She's going to get there. She's going to be one of the few female superstars that are going to make it out of NXT, because there's a lot that are just wasting their time on, if you ask me. But I think she's good.
I'm just wondering if they're going to continue having her use that finishing move going forward.
I mean,
she's got the swag, she's got the look, she's good in the ring. That she's got the good theme music. Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, if I'm just wondering if they'll continue doing that. But I enjoyed this, and she's going to be a champion sooner rather than later.
100%.
So this
100%.
This was good, and Roxanne Perez is great too, man.
Oh yeah. No, she's great. Pop Rocks is great. What happened that bothered me in this match? There was a Pop Rocks that was done.
There were only two. She did one, I think, on the outside, and then I think the one
that one bothered me. The one on the outside of the ring bothered me because she did it, and then I think there was a 9 count, and then they both got back in the ring.
Oh,
But
instead of Roxanne just not trying to get back in?
there's no reason why Roxanne and Jada should have been as knocked out from her doing that move.
Okay.
They got up at the same time and got back in the ring.
Okay.
Roxanne should have gotten in right away. And then Jada should have gotten the 10 count, and Roxanne waited to see if she can get back in the ring in time. That's what I think should happen.
Okay. Yeah.
Just didn't quite add up to me, but that's fine. It doesn't have to add up to me. But it was a great match, good on these two competitors, and it was the appetizer or the hors d'oeuvre for All Ego Ethan Page versus Joe Henry with special guest referee Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. And unfortunately, my string of 2 pay-per-views predicting every single match came to an end because I believed in Joe Hendry, and as a result of which, I believe that he got me the only loss on the weekend. He did not win. There were some. I had a big issue with this.
Okay. Yeah, you text me asking if I had seen it yet, and I had not, but we haven't talked about it, I don't think.
And this is going to be a nitpick, which is fine, but I have a big issue with it. So Trick Williams, first of all, and I know this is tried and true trope in WWE, so I shouldn't be this upset about it. And this is just part 1 of what made me upset. He barely got ran into, and you would have thought he died.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
He acted like an actual referee. That should not happen. That's number 1. But then when he died, and Ethan Page went for the pin, I think Ethan Page went for the pin. I don't remember who pinned. It didn't matter.
Yes.
A ref literally was running down that ramp before Trick's body even hit the ground. Like, he was just sitting in gorilla waiting for his moment. And that irked me to no end because he looked like Quincy Wilson coming down the ramp to just start counting to 3. Like, come on. Like, what should have happened was he goes for the pin, he looks around, there's no ref there, he gets up, nothing happens, and then a ref starts coming down, and then he tries to pin, and then it's a 1-2 and a kick out. That's what should have happened, not this immediate, like Trick's falling while the new ref is running down the ramp. That was too much for me.
And then Trick stopping the ref's count.
Yeah, he went out of his
It was a cool save though. It was a very well timed save.
It was a very well planned or executed save, but that's not the point. The point is, why did he do it? There's no logical. Who was pinning at that moment?
Page was pinning. Oh, wait a second. I know why.
I think Joe Hendry was pinning.
No. Page had just hit the DDT on the title, and the ref didn't see it.
Is that what just happened right there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because the belt was in there, and I think Hendry went to pick it up, and Ego planted him with the DDT on the belt.
Okay, well then, issue number 3 then. Trick was knocked out. He couldn't have seen any of that.
Yeah, because he had just jumped back in to make the save.
Yeah, he could not have seen anything happen on that belt. Couldn't have. He just couldn't have.
Well, I guess he did if he broke up the count, because then he did the 3 count for Ego later.
He could not have seen that move done on that belt and then had the wherewithal to just get in the ring and grab the ref's arm. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. So those are my gripes. Other than that, good match. Joe Hendry is he's good. He's good. Not great in my opinion.
I thought I enjoyed this match a lot.
I enjoyed it too, but this was my first interaction. Is this my first full main event? This is the first title match I've seen of Joe Hendry, and the question is he worth all the hype? No, he isn't. But he's got a good song, and he's not that bad in the ring. So this can continue for a little while longer. I'm fine with it.
Like I said, I think all roads got that. It has to be, dude. See, now I'm second guessing everything now because you got to think Trick's getting the title back, and then certainly it's going to be Oba beating Trick for the title.
Maybe.
But then
Trick doesn't need a title, though.
No, but then would they bring them both to the main roster at the same time?
Could.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? I mean, that we're
like one to Raw, one to SmackDown.
I mean, but we're kind of running out of time if you think about it. Between hell, it's already September, and you still got to do the build. You got the Pete Dunne Trick stuff, and then it's going to be Trick versus whoever. I guess I'm just wondering. So if that were to happen, you have between September and April to have a Trick and a Oba title reign, and because you got to think they both got to be getting called up soon.
Yeah, you'd think.
So, and like I said, that's just a lot of moving parts before April.
Yeah, but they'll do it.
Yeah,
they'll be fine. They know what they're doing when it comes to building that card.
Well, dude, and I tell you what, I hope they continue. They gotta keep treating Oba the way they are in NXT. They have nailed that.
They don't have to do anything.
I know they don't have to, but they should. They need to give him Gunther treatment on the main roster.
But they can't because that would mean that he comes in and wins the IC title. But if you do that now, then you got to stunt the growth of Braun Breaker.
Give him the U.S. title. Put him on SmackDown.
That works. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Because Braun, I don't know. I think, Gunther, I think, is going to hold the title for like 8 years. So, yeah, it's going to have to be one of those mid-card titles.
Yeah. Or perfect time to make a new one.
Yes.
Speaking of new one, the next time you see us, it'll be on a new episode of the Golden Squeeze podcast because we're all done with this one.
I say we jump into Monday Night Raw. It started off.
I say we don't.
Nice.
I say we don't. But if you like what you heard, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and we will see you on the next episode of the Golden Squeeze podcast. Oh. Yeah.